Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of the 808 podcast where I interview business owners, CEOs, and whoever else I feel like. 4 questions, 8 minutes and 8 seconds, because 808 looks like Bob. And let's get to it. Question number one, in a few sentences, tell us who you are and what do you do?
Well, thank you. My name is Robert Brown. I am the CEO of Olumo, and we are a human experience company. We help organizations to understand, quantify, and transform the human experience at work.
Awesome. Robert, question number two, what advice do you want to share? Go for it.
I want to share the importance of creating that human experience for organizations. A lot of companies have termed it as the employee experience. The reason why we call it the human experience is because, frankly, an employee to me is an object, and we're focused on people. And organizations are learning to understand the value of focusing on their people to drive their end business results. So, right now, organizations are really struggling to understand them, especially through the current pandemic and everything that we've struggled through. So, what we help them to do is first understand you can't fix what you don't understand. So, we need to quantify and understand the experience that their people are having.
Mhm.
And the end goal, however, though, is to create the overall human experience. I often look at it and say, think of a great restaurant that you went to, or think of a great hotel or something. Well, that experience that you had when you went there was choreographed. We help organizations to do that same thing, but instead of for the customer, the CX, for the human experience, the HX, their people. And that's what we do better than any other platform on the market is we deliver the understanding they need so that they can transform their organization.
Okay, so what are some things that people can do themselves to help increase that human experience?
Well, where we always start with an organization is everything goes back to the core. And the foundation of the organization is its mission, its vision, and values. And unfortunately, oftentimes those hang on the wall, but they're not implemented into the actual actions, the policies, the procedures, how we do things here in truly creating the culture. And there's a gap in the culture between
Mhm.
what the executive level thinks it is because it's on the wall and what
Right.
it really is because that's how it actually happens here. And so we start there.
Okay, so I know that that's what you start, but can you give our audience some tips on things they can do themselves to like,
Oh,
hey,
yeah.
basically you have it on the wall. So what can I start doing to make sure that I myself as a CEO improve the experience?
Well, I, I'll go back to that, how I described it a moment ago with the experience when you walked into a hotel or something like that. That's where we start. First, what's the core? What are the values, the things that you believe in that you're trying to create? And then, so that's step number one. Step number two, then now go look at how you've implemented those throughout processes, policies, procedures. Go look at that experience. Walk in the door like you are one of your people and now experience what they're experiencing through all of those things, and that's where we start that transformational journey. It's a journey. You can't flip this overnight or in three
Right.
days It's a journey.
Okay, let's get to question number three. What other top CEOs, business owners, or influencers that you know are successful just like you that you would like to give a shout out to and should be a guest on my podcast?
I would love to give a shout out to Carl Sakia. Carl Sakia is a purveyor of the human experience. He calls it peopletivity. He's such a phenomenal force for this overall experience that people are trying to transition to. And Carl Sakia just pops, of course, into my head. He's a dynamic. He's
Mhm.
from Hawaii. He's got all kinds of aloha spirit. You'll enjoy him.
Awesome. I will look him up there. Number four, final fun question. Robert, tell me about your first sale.
First sale with Olumo was for a company called Big Leap. They're a fantastic digital marketing organization that's really bought into their people and culture. And as we deployed the platform within the organization, unfortunately, they had some struggles during COVID.
Right.
And as we deployed the platform, they actually increased. So there's a common statistic called employee net promoter score. And most organizations during COVID that had layoffs saw a 94% decrease. They
Hmm.
saw a 34% increase.
Nice.
Now, like seriously, how do you go through that type of experience and improve the experience that your people have? That was the power of the platform that we delivered.
Perfect. Love it there. So, Robert, you've got 3 minutes and 24 seconds left. We can You can ask me a question. You can talk about the painting behind you. You can even talk about the weather, do some promotion time, whatever you want. I am flexible. Let's go for it.
Okay. Well, if I can, I'd love to continue the conversation surrounding how we help again organizations transform that human
Mm,
experience. We call it our LEAP process, where we help organizations to first begin by listening, actively listening to their people. Second, engaging in actual conversations to understand. Third, taking action. And fourth, then being able to measure the progress long term. The way that we help organizations to listen is through a simple text. We ask each individual within the organization a single question every single week about one unique aspect of their experience. What's different about that, though, is as we ask these questions, we have taken a conversational, not surveys approach. It's not
right.
a one sided question where you just provide answers.
Right.
We actually engage with you back and forth in an anonymous conversation to really understand why you feel the way you do and what's causing that and what we need to do as an organization. And that's where the action part comes. Most organizations, unfortunately, do surveys, all kinds of ways of engaging, but then they don't tie effectively within the organization
Right.
the feedback to the actions they take. And then, most importantly, long term, is that I share with organizations all the time you can't move the needle if you don't have a needle. And when people are struggling with remote work, diversity and inclusion, mental health, all of these different aspects that are driving organizations right now, if you don't have a way to quantify and understand those things within your organization, then how do you have any idea if the things you're doing are making an impact? And that's the core of what we do.
Perfect. Love it there. You do have 1 minute and 20 seconds left. Is there anything else you'd like to add, or we can end early? That's okay.
I think I'm all right. I love short and sweet. We'll make it short and sweet,
We're
unless you have
making it.
anything else you would like to
No,
add, Bob.
we're making it short and sweet. You pulled it off. 4 questions in 8 minutes and 8 seconds. Robert, why is it 8 minutes and 8 seconds?
Because 808 looks like Bob.
Exactly there. Say your website real quick.
We are located at olumo.com.
And it's in the description. It's magic. Robert, thank you so much for being on. Tip of the hat to you. And for everyone else watching or listening, make sure you check out more episodes of the 808 podcast. And make sure you like, share, comment, subscribe, thumbs up, ring the bell, whatever the network tells you to do. I am Bob Clark. You all have a wonderful day. Now, talk to you later. Bye.